Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fusion tutorial. In today's video, we are going to go over how to make threads for your garden hose. We're going to design the threads and then you can 3D print all sorts of little spray hose attachments and other things for your hose. It's really fun to do, really easy to do. So let's hop into Fusion and get started. All right, so here is what we are going to be making today. This tutorial really isn't so much about making like a hose nozzle sprayer, but more so getting the threads to work, measuring and designing the threads to fit on the end of the hose. So we did kind of turn it into a little hose nozzle, and it's pretty simple to do. You just add some holes to it, kind of basically making a cap. But obviously you could make this as elaborate as you want once you get the threads figured out. So, okay, before we can start designing this though, we need some measurements. Now, you can always grab your calipers and measure the physical threads on your hose, but in the US and I'm sure elsewhere in the world, these threads are pretty standardized. So we go off 3/4 garden hose thread, and there are three measurements we really need to know to get this to work. We need to know the major diameter. The major diameter is the diameter of the male threads measuring from the peaks of the threads. So the very outermost diameter you can measure. And we're at 27 millimeters. And we need to know the minor diameter, which is the diameter measuring from the valleys of the threads. So imagine you shaved off all the threads and you were just left with like a smooth cylinder on that male thread end. That would be the minor diameter. And it looks like there's a bit of a range here. So we're just going to go with something in the middle, 24.2 or something like that. But that's where you could get your calipers out and measure your hose. And then the last thing we need is the pitch. Now this has two things here, pitch and thread spacing. We're really after thread spacing, but these are basically kind of the two of the same thing. So they have pitch as 11.5 teeth per inch. So to get the thread spacing, you just multiply, or you just divide 1 by 11.5 to get 0.087, which is 2.21 millimeters. So we're going to remember these numbers: 27 millimeters for the major diameter, 2.21 millimeters for the pitch, and we're going to go with 24.2 millimeters for the minor diameter. So, okay, let's get back into Fusion. All right, so let's start a new design. And this is my preferred method for trying to create threads, especially when I'm trying to match. Like I'm trying to create a cap for an existing bottle or doing something like we're doing today. So I like to give myself some guidelines, and that's where that major and minor diameter come in. So we're going to create a sketch on this bottom plane. I'm going to hit C for circle, and I'm going to make this a construction line. I'm going to click right on the origin, and I'm going to do 27 millimeters, which is that major diameter of the male threads. We're going to do another circle, and we're going to have this be the minor diameter, so 24.2. Now, I'm going to explain this again. So think about this as that smooth shaft of that male end, no pun intended. And then this is the diameter with the threads included. So when we create our female cap or female threads, it has to fit over top of this. So we can draw our other circle here. We do not want a construction line this time. So we know this circle has to be greater than that major diameter. And so we'll add some clearance to it, maybe like 0.3 millimeters. And so if we do an offset of this circle to get our, let's zoom in here, to get our wall thickness, let's do like 3 millimeters. And let's finish sketch, and then I'll kind of go back and explain it. E for extrude, and let's extrude this up maybe 14 millimeters. And this is another measurement you could take to see how large you want these female threads to be. Okay, so if we turn that sketch back visible and we go to a top view, and we're imagining that these construction lines are our male threads, well, we now know that this female cylinder, these female threads will fit over top of it because they don't go past this line. If this line right here was inside this major diameter, then it physically just wouldn't fit. So there is our 0.3 clearance. And you can always, if the threads end up being too tight and it won't screw on, you could make this clearance even larger. Now, the next step is creating the threads on the inside of this ring or cylinder, and we have to make sure the threads don't go past this line, which is the minor diameter of those male threads. And again, for the same reason, if the threads went past this line, it physically wouldn't fit. So I'm going to try to create some threads with that 2.21 pitch that kind of end up about right here, maybe end up with the same spacing as we did there. So let's do that next. Let's hide this sketch for now since we don't need it at the moment, and let's create the threads. Now I'm going to use the coil tool. That way we can have full control over these threads. So I've selected the coil tool. Now I have to select a plane, and I'm going to select this top plane because I want to click the diameter of the threads to this inside diameter here. So I'm going to select this surface or plane, and now we can drag out from the origin, and it's going to snap to that inner line. And now if we change the size of this, if we think we need to change our clearance, maybe to like 27.4 or 27.1, this will automatically update, the threads will, because we've snapped to that line. So let's go through this. Okay, so when you open this up, potentially for the first time, this is what it will look like. Kind of like a huge mess. So let's just change section size first, and we're going to just change this to 1 millimeter. So section size is the diameter of the pipe here, the threads. So let's just change it to 1 so it's more manageable to work with. And you can see it's cutting right now. It's in red because it's digging into the side of this little ring we made. So, and that'll change here in just a second. So our diameter is already set because we drug that over to this blue line. The revolutions, we're actually going to change this to height and pitch. We know the height, or actually we don't know the height, but the height of our ring was about 14 millimeters. And so let's make this maybe like 10, and we have to go -10 to have it go in the opposite direction. And the reason I'm only going 10 is because hose adapters and hose threads always have that like black washer for waterproofing so it doesn't leak. So we have to leave room here for that washer. Okay, and we know our pitch as well. It's 2.21. All right, and now the only thing we need to do is change the shape of it. So we're going to change this, instead of a circle, you can see the threads right now are in a circle. We're going to change it to a triangle. And since this is a female thread, we want it internal, meaning the triangle is going to point internally. If we chose external, the triangle would point the opposite way. You would do this for some male threads. So internal, and you can see section position is on center, which means the triangle is on center with this blue diameter. We want this to be on the inside of it. And now you can see it switches to joining because it's no longer digging into the sides of those walls. Okay, one last thing we need to do is, a few last things we need to do is we need to work on this section size. So if we go to that top view and we turn that first sketch back on, you can see we have way too much clearance here. These threads aren't nearly large enough to get to this minor diameter. So we can start changing this. So let's change it to maybe 1.5. And that's probably too close. You can see we're still not inside of this line, so it would technically fit, but it's probably going to be too tight. So let's say we wanted to back this up to 1.4. And that looks pretty good. These look pretty even. They don't have to be perfect. Now, you could leave it at this, and that would be totally fine. But for 3D printing, I don't like keeping this sharp edge here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make this larger. So I'm going to do like 1.6. And then we're going to hit new body. Make sure you select new body here and hit OK. And then to correct this, we're going to chamfer this edge. So let's turn off that sketch for a second. I'm going to go up to the chamfer tool. We're going to chamfer that sharp edge maybe by like 0.2 and then hit OK. And before I hit OK, I probably should have checked this. But if we turn on that sketch, you can see now we've got that clearance again, and that's pretty close. So I think that looks good. So just to refresh, we know that this part does not go past the major diameter of the male thread, so that looks really good. And the threads on this female part don't go past the minor diameter of the male part. So theoretically, this should work. Now there's a few things we need to do here. You can see this coil is sticking above the cylinder. And the reason we chose a new body for these coils instead of joining is so we can move them. So by the way, pause. Autodesk Fusion, if you are listening, please put some sort of option in here to move the whole coil up or down. Like, I know we're kind of basing it off this plane, but an option to just move it and then we can hit join would be absolutely amazing. Now you could, before you start the coils, you could do a construction line and an offset plane, and like click this surface and make it go down like 2 millimeters and then start your threads. But then you actually can't lock it to this edge here. And so it just complicates things. All you would need is one little extra arrow here to move the coil up and down. Okay, rant over. Please do that. Okay, M for move. We're going to select the threads and we're just going to move it down maybe like, we'll go like 1.5 millimeters and hit OK. Okay, so now they're kind of in the position we like and we still have room here. We may need to add a little bit of space here. What do we have? If we click this point and this point, we're at about 1.5 millimeters. That's probably not quite thick enough for that black ring. So maybe what we can do is just hit E and just extrude it down another millimeter. And that has enough room now for that little washer. Okay, now we want to chamfer these coils. Let's join them so we can make this, get rid of this hard leading edge. So we're gonna combine the coil with the little ring or cylinder and hit OK. And now we have one body here. And the easiest way to chamfer this is obviously the chamfer tool. So if we click this line, hold Shift and click this line, at the bottom of the screen here, we have 1.427. So when we chamfer this edge, we can't use that exact measurement. We'll get an error. So we could do like 1.42 and that will probably work. So let's give it a try. So let's deselect, chamfer 1.42. And that is not exact, but it's close enough for 3D printing. Maybe you could even go 1.245. There, it's even closer. And we're going to switch this to 2 distances. And now that we have this right, we can drag this one out maybe like 4 millimeters. And that just kind of softens that leading edge. And now that we have that one done, we could also do it to this bottom one, even though it's not super necessary. On Windows, you hold Control, and then you can click this line, and it'll add that to the chamfer selection. Okay. So I think we are set here. Let's go ahead and hit OK. And there the threads are done. And you can double check here, do your top view, and everything looks good. Remember, after you print this, and actually this might be a good time to print this, especially if you're going to build like an elaborate hose sprayer or an elaborate adapter. This would be a good time to print this right now because then you can see if your threads are actually working. And if they're not working, you can come back and either make these tolerances larger or smaller or whatever you have to do. So let's go ahead and finish this model up. We'll kind of turn this into a little adapter or a little sprayer that I showed at the beginning of the video. Let's add a bottom to this. So if I get rid of this sketch, let's close this in. And I'm just going to go up to the Surface tab. I'm going to hit the patch tool and we're going to patch this outer ring. That just makes a surface over that. If I hide oops, let me hit OK here. If I hide this body, you can see we have a surface body. And now we can take that surface body and thicken it. And we'll go 3 millimeters. And we'll make sure we join that to the other body. And that just kind of close that in. Let's add some chamfers back in the solid tab. We will chamfer this at 1. We'll just go back to equal distance. And we can chamfer this We'll hit the plus sign, chamfer this one maybe by like 0.3, 0.4, I like that better. Hit OK. And the only thing left to do is add some holes up here. So let's create a sketch. We'll hit C for circle. Let's go 2 millimeters. We'll do another circle here. Create circular pattern, and we're going to click this one as the objects. You can see it has one selected. The center point will be here, and then we can add how many times we want to pattern this. 5 sounds great. Finish sketch. E for extrude, and we're going to select these circles and just drag them down to cut. And then we can chamfer these. So I'm going to select these first by holding shift while I click on these cylinders here, the holes. And then we'll chamfer these by like 0.3 just to break that sharp edge. And there you go. There is your basic nozzle sprayer or hose sprayer. And like I said, the point of the video wasn't really to teach you how to make a hose sprayer, but really to teach you how to make threads. And you can apply this technique to anything, but it's the middle of summer, it's hot out, and it's always fun making some cool 3D printed hose sprayers for different applications. So I will link my Makerworld account in the description. I actually have a few hose nozzles that I have given away for free on Makerworld. And I will also link in the description the little lever water shutoff valves, little lever valves for the end of your hose that when you add something like your 3D print to the tip, you have a fully functional nozzle that you can turn on and off, and it's kind of nice. So, okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.